Okay, quite a conundrum we've fallen into. I guess the first thing we do is simply just look around. Turn the camera a little bit. What can we look? I mean, the first suspicious thing is this thing. Remember this thing? This is in the very beginning of the game, was the prologue. That's a rocket and a tank. Oh, I didn't notice a tank actually. That's a tank. It's like right in front of the rocket. I better not think too much about what I'm seeing down here. It's not trash, not mechanical trash. Is that a plane? Another tank? Over here? This is a desk. It's probably the one that fell down here with me. I guess it is. Is that an airplane? How'd something like that wind up in the school's garbage pit? It's a lot of military weaponry, it turns out. It's locked. No matter how many times I pushed or pulled or kicked at it, it didn't budge. Getting out of here isn't going to be that easy. Well, if I'm not getting out of here anytime soon. I decided to look around for some food. Look around in the garbage. There's plenty of food here, but it's all rotten. That was pointless too. Oh well. Next I search for some water. You do need water to live. How can I be sure which liquids I can drink and which ones are all around a bad idea? Yeah, you don't know. Again, pointless. I was gonna say, you will sooner die of dehydration than you would of starvation, so having some water is very important. Otherwise, you're not gonna last very long. I feel like I'm blocked in on all sides. But that's still not enough reason to give up because I'm still alive. And I'm still alive. As long as I'm alive, I'll never give up. After making that proud declaration, the next thing I decided to do was, sit down and do nothing. I guess go to sleep. Okay, go to sleep. I'm so alive, and then just go back to sleep. My sleep was deep and uninterrupted. That was my only way to preserve what little strength I had left after not being able to eat or drink. I mean, it's already bad enough that you're stranded, but especially in like an urban environment, you can't do much about this, can you? At the very least, if you get stranded in nature, you can at least find something. I know I definitely wouldn't survive. I mean, for one, I need prescription medicine to live. I have it's just a small thing, but it's like a deficiency, so I need prescription medicine to live. I don't have access to that, then I just die. But secondly, and I mentioned this, when I played. What was that other game? The other game by Chunsoft. It was Zonky Zero, actually. I did mention this. The second reason I would have survived definitely is because I don't really have survival skills in the first place. I wouldn't know what to do, really. I've seen a few things, a few tips, I guess, but I wouldn't really know how to make a campfire, how to find water. I think you have to dig. I mean, depending on where you are, but you have to dig and find rainwater. I think that's I don't know how you would do that exactly. I don't know. I would never survive in a normal survival situation. Anyway, I'll pretty much be dead. I can't be sure, but I think I at least have a full day, or yeah, I have a full day. No, but I think at least a full day had to have passed. And all I did was sleep and sleep. It was like I was waiting for some kind of sign to come falling out of the sky. However, what fell from the sky wasn't a sign, not exactly. Crunch. What the? A strange sound pierced my silent isolation, jarred me awake. As I watched, the pile of garbage jostled and formed an odd shape. Oh no, it's the garbage monster. Did something fall down over here? Something fell from up above. What could it have been? Yeah, let's just look over here first. Let's not. Okay, well, the same thing. Alright, can I just... Yeah, I'm just gonna leave. Okay, no. Alright, fine. Did a giant piece of trash just fall down here? I carefully stretched my hand out toward whatever it was that had tumbled down here with me. A giant piece of trash. Rude. Before she even emerged from the pile of garbage, I knew who it was. As it turns out,
ひどい匂いね。
it's Kyoko. Also, she has some noodles on her hair, and I guess it's confirmed that if your waifu is Kyoko, she is trash. You know, she's literally a trash waifu. No, I'm Kyoko.
ええ、
You look like you're doing better than I expected. What are you doing here?
それは
Is that obvious? I'm here to help you. I'm glad to hear that, Kyoko. You got a piece of garbage in your hair? What does it say? Cup. Like, I have to read it like upside down. Cup. Okubit. I don't know, anyway. She gave her head a quick, sharp shake to get rid of the trash, then faced me again, just like a dog.
ね
First, I have something for you. Go ahead and eat it. We can talk once you're finished. Yes, delicious. Hydrogen, hydrogen monoxide. Or dioxide? Dioxide, not monoxide. Hydrogen dioxide and some bread. Thank you. Num 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 num. I snatched the bread and water that she was holding out for me. Within seconds, it was in my mouth and making its way toward my stomach. Ugh, I really hit the spot. Now I've got all the energy I need to keep going. So you still haven't given up then? Of course not. After all, the fact that I can keep going forward is about all I'm good at.
ふーん
Well, that's not such a bad thing to be good at. Here to save me? Hurry up and save me. Also, I noticed that Kyokyo's tie... I don't know, I guess it's a type of tie, I guess, but her tie doesn't, like, end with an edge, by the way. It's like a flat edge. I don't know, just something I noticed. But Kyoko, why'd you come to rescue me?
それは
To pay a debt. Oh no. To atone. Atone?
あなたは
During the trial, even though you knew I was lying, you didn't say anything. Well, tactically I did do that in an alternate dimension, but don't worry about it. So, you knew that I knew. That you knew that I knew? That you knew that I knew? That you knew that I knew?
ええ、
But even though I knew, I did nothing to help you.
私は
I abandoned you. Don't say that. You didn't abandon me. No. That's exactly what I did. I abandoned you in order to save my own life. You were trying to save me, and I couldn't bring myself to do the same for you.
だけど
But listen, not that I'm trying to make excuses, but there was a reason that I had to survive no matter the cost. Why'd you have to survive?
そうね
I'll tell you. I'll tell you everything. The reason I have to survive
つまり
is so that I can do what I came to this school to do. What? I made up my mind to come to Hope's Peak Academy for one very important reason. So you have some reasons for coming to Hope's Peak.
ええ、
That's right. At least I did. Once. Once?
私は
Until recently, I'd forgotten what it was. You forgot? But that's... I had no memory of what my purpose was. No memory. And you mentioned that before, you know? Amnesia. Then, is it really true? You did lose your memory?
苗木くん
Do you remember, Makoto? Do you remember the first thing that happened to each of us as soon as we arrived at the school? The first thing? You're talking about when we fainted, right? I fainted, and when I woke up, I was trapped here.
そうよ
I fainted too. And when I woke up, I noticed a strange feeling of separation within myself. A disconnect.
どうやら
Thinking back on it now, at that point, my memory was gone. At that time, I'd forgotten. I couldn't remember why I'd come to this school, and I couldn't remember what my ultimate ability was. But what would make you forget all that?
ね
Strange, isn't it? It's hard to imagine it happened by chance. It seems much too convenient. Are you saying you think you lost your memory because...
そうよ
I don't think. I'm positive it was the work of the Mastermind. They stole my memory. But why would they do that? There's only one reason I can come up with. Because of my purpose and my ability. Somehow they would interfere with the Mastermind's plans. So the Mastermind just stole them from you.
でも
Like just... well, I think I read that wrong, but like just stole it from you, you know? It's like, they could just do that? It could also mean... somehow, my memories may be connected to the mystery of this school and the Mastermind. Which is why I have to get them back. That's why I've been investigating things by myself this whole time. But but if what you say is true, why did you ask the rest of us to help you?
なんで
If I did that, and we all worked as one, the Mastermind would have noticed right away. Plus, there's always the chance that the Mastermind is actually one of us. What?
そう
Well, don't make too big a deal of it. It's just a possibility. But since it is a possibility, we can't ignore it, right? The Mastermind. One of us. If she believed that, then of course she couldn't trust anyone around her. In which case, it only makes sense that she would look into her missing memory by herself.
でも
That being said, there was a limit to what I could do by myself, which is why I asked you to help me. But why me? Because among everyone, you are least likely to be the mastermind. That was just intuition, but I see. Your intuition was right though. There's no way an ordinary kid like me could have been the mastermind.
僕は知っている。僕は全部知っているはずだ。
As it turns out, I am the mastermind. You've been tricked, Kill. There's all an elaborate plan. No.
僕の目的はここから出ることじゃない。ここに残ることなんだ。
Yeah. It's just like the dream I had before, but why did that just happen?
ね
Are you okay? Oh yeah, it's nothing. It is nothing, right?
えね
Even now, I still trust you, you know? It's just, I'm not used to relying on others.
えそう
I know I never asked you for help the right way, so I understand if you're not convinced. Honestly, I was convinced. I think that's just her personality. Hey, look, there's garbage. There's an unbelievable amount of trash here. Yeah, that's just all, I guess. She just, like, put herself in the trash bag and went with the trash, I guess. You said you had a reason for doing all that investigating on your own. So, how'd that turn out? Were you able to remember anything?
それは
I think there's still a lot I don't remember. At the very least, I was finally able to recall my purpose and my ability. You mentioned your ability.
私は
My ability? What everyone should have known me for. I'm the ultimate detective. Ah yes, what a surprise. If you didn't catch that, by the way, just from looking at her, I mean, I don't know. It's kind of a weird mix, actually. He's wearing this weird, like, trench coat, but it's not really a trench coat. It's like a weird school uniform / trench coat. I don't know. But I guess, I mean, it makes sense. She's the detective. She likes to, like, touch dead bodies, you know? She's always the one figure out all the clues and all that. She's basically the detective. She's a cop. You gotta, like, not talk to her now without a lawyer, you know? That's how it works, right? I can't talk to you, Kyoko. Am I being detained? No, the ultimate detective. I mean, I guess she's more like a private detective. You know, it's the fiction, the Hollywood thing, right? Or the anime thing, or whatever it is. It's always in fiction. It's like a private detective rather than like a police detective, you know? And for whatever reason, the private detective is like super smart and like basically Sherlock Holmes, you know? But like that's in real life, you know. Most likely, if you're a private detective, you're not solving like murder cases. You're most likely just investigating, you know, infidelity more than anything else. But anyway, and the reason I came to Hope Speak Academy, there was someone I had to find here in the school. You had to find someone? Who?
それは
Well, it was the headmaster of Hope Speak Academy. The headmaster? Why did you want to find the headmaster? Because he's my father. Darth Vader? Nani? No? What?
つまり
I was separated from him as a child. As it turns out, he became the headmaster of Hope's Peak. Kyoko's dad is Hope's Peak. Hope's Peak's. There's two possessives. Hope's Peak's headmaster. That means when Alter Ego told us how he thought the headmaster was involved,
私は
she got really distressed.
私は
To find it, no matter the cost.
あのさ私は
My memory hadn't come back at that point, but when he said that, I felt strange. It makes perfect sense now. Of course, since my whole purpose for coming here was to find him. Well, that makes sense.
だけど
Well, listen, Makoto. I want to make this perfectly clear, so there's no misunderstanding. I said the headmaster wasn't the mastermind, but I didn't say that to protect him. I only said what I felt based on what I seen when I snuck into the headmaster's room. And what did you see in there?
それは
The room had been ransacked. The shelves were a mess. The desk drawers dumped on the floor. The only conclusion is that someone who didn't know where anything was had been in there. You mean the mastermind, right?
そうね
That was my assumption, yes. And to confirm my suspicion, I decided to investigate the second floor of the dorms using the key I'd found. But why there? Because I also found this in the headmaster's room. This is some kind of map?
ええ
It's a layout of the entirety of Host Peak Academy. I found it in the headmaster's room, along with Mukuro's profile and that key. The map showed that the second floor was home to a number of rooms meant for faculty use. Some of the staff must have had to stay overnight from time to time. And I figured the headmaster would have some kind of private room there. I assumed that if that were true, that room would likely hold more clues, so I went to check.
そう
And that's when I finally remembered. I remembered that my purpose was to find the owner of that room. So you went there to see if the headmaster really did have a private room there.
だけど
But once I got there, I noticed that the second floor of the dorms didn't have any cameras or monitors. So what was it like? That part of the school, I mean. It's hard to describe. All I can say is,
私は
the moment I saw it, I realized whatever's going on in this school is more horrific than we ever imagined. What do you mean?
それは
I can't explain it. You need to see it for yourself. I'm sure you'll get a chance soon enough. It sounds like it must be important. And really ominous. Also, I don't know if... I mean, obviously I can't do, a fully female voice. My voice just can't do that. But I feel like I'm messing up the voices. Am I doing like a Kyoko? I feel like I'm doing a different Kyoko voice. I don't know. Maybe it's too deep. When I imagine Kyoko though, she's very like stoic and calm, right? So I can't really do like a super high-pitched voice, I feel like. It'll be like this, Hello everyone! It sounds like Asahina, or at least in my head anyway. Obviously, again, I can't do a fully feminine voice, but
だけ
Eh. Oh, there's more, by the way, so there's no cameras and monitors. Which is why I had no idea what was going on in the rest of the building. And it has to do with Mukuro Ikusaba, doesn't it? The 16th student, who's dead and not lying hidden somewhere in the school. But are they the ultimate despair? We don't know, actually. They're not the mastermind, I guess, since they're dead. But I guess we'll still watch out for her, though. Anyway.
でも
Just to be perfectly clear, I didn't kill her. And I know it wasn't you either. I know you're right, but that just means everyone but you and me had an alibi, so then who did kill her?
とにかく
Like, what I can say for sure is that the mastermind is directly involved. To begin with, the point of the class trial of Mukuro Ikusawa was to get me killed. Excuse. I had to sneeze. Get you killed?
ええ
I stole that key and disappeared. And in retaliation, they wanted to draw me out to eliminate me.
そう
That was the point of the class trial. It was. The mastermind knew they couldn't interfere directly. You mean because of the school regulations?
そうよ
Exactly. With minimal restrictions, you are free to explore Hope Peak Academy at your discretion.
つまり
The mastermind is adamant about following the rules, and with that rule in place, they couldn't step in. Since they couldn't kill me themselves, they tried to use a class trial to do it. The mastermind couldn't step in because of the rules. That makes it sound like the mastermind themselves are somehow bound by the school regulations.
ね
There's one other thing I'd like to point out before the murder, or rather, about the murder of Mukuro Ikusaba. What's that? There was a point where Mukuro may not have become the victim. It could have been you, Makoto. I could have become the victim?
え
You know what I'm talking about, right? Do you mean during the night?
え私は
I can hear them, The footsteps of the god of death. Nani? Shinigami, that's what it's called? Shinigami? I can hear the god of death as he moves. That ability naturally draws me to cases just like this,
とにかく
which is exactly what happened with you. I was in the dorms and had a sudden sense of dread. I looked down the stairway, and I saw a white shadow cross the corridor. I gave chase right away. As I followed it, I saw the shadow go into your room.
そう
I ran into your room and I saw what was happening. I intervened immediately, of course.
だけど
That wasn't the end of things, of course. I stopped them, but that led to... Whoever the mass assailant was, they ended up dead.
そう
And their murder was disguised, and the dojo key wound up in my room. It was how has to be the work of the Mastermind, in an attempt to use a class trial to eliminate me. So all this would mean that whoever killed Mukuro is also the Mastermind, right?
ええ
I don't have conclusive evidence. That's what I think. But that's really bad. Or that's really bad if it's true. It means the Mastermind can kill whoever they want if they feel like it, you know? Oh, hey, Mr. Dojitaka, by the way. Yeah, technically, yeah, using the follower emote, by the way. I do have a subscriber emote. I zoomed in the subscriber emote to make it look better, but anyway. You store your waifus in your waifu store. Is that what it is? Anyway. Wait, but doesn't that create another contradiction? The Mastermind wanted to use a class trial to try and kill you because they couldn't interfere, right?
そう
You're right. That is a contradiction. And it's not just Mukuro. They needed a class trial to kill me, but seemed ready to kill you in your room. Everything they did is a contradiction. So, what does it all mean?
つまり
It means the Mastermind is the one who's been cornered. Huh?
苗木君
Just a little more. Waifu is code for P, and its story is code for... I'm sorry, Doge Taco, but I don't understand the humor, you know? I mean, obviously I understand the meme, you know, the P is stored in the balls. That's just weird. It's not stored in the balls, though. It's stored in your bladder. I don't understand. Anyway, getting back to Danganronpa, just a little more. A little more, and I should be able to figure out the Mastermind's identity. The identity of the other ultimate despair. Nani? The other ultimate despair? There's no doubt that Mukuro was the ultimate despair, and that she's dead. But I don't think the ultimate despair is just one person. It's not?
ええ
If you think about it, the ultimate despair seems to implicate whoever caused that event. You're talking about
そうよ
what happened a year ago. The biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history. The tragedy. Whoever's responsible for that, they're the ultimate despair.
どうやら
That despicable group whose only purpose and motivation comes from despair. Then they're,
ええ
make no mistake, they're the root of all evil that's forced us to go through this. Wow. That is the ultimate despair. And that is our real enemy. Amazing. As long as I laugh, you're happy? You know, it's funny though, but like, I'm actually going through a very, very serious and dramatic scene in the video game. I don't know. It's just the contrast is... It's palpable. Anyway, got Island Rocket, by the way. Big rocket, good. Alright, there you go. That's the end of Chapter 5, technically. I guess we're moving into Chapter 6. I guess we have time. That was only like a little bit, you know? So, I guess we continue. The ultimate despair. A group of people who caused the tragedy over 1 year ago. Those same people put together this killing game and began broadcasting it around the world. The most desperately awful group of people ever. That is the Mastermind's true identity. Our enemy has finally been revealed. But right now,
とにかく
right now, we have to get out of this horrible place. Figuring out the rest of the story can come after. Now the rocket looks suspect, it looks phallic. You know, you need, I'm sorry, Mr. Doge Taco, but you need to go to horny jail, okay? Not everything has to be phallic, alright? Unless the game actually, you know... I mean, to be fair, there is some fan service in this game, but like... This is very serious. I said before, this is family... Well, I was gonna say family-friendly content. Actually, Danganronpa is not really family-friendly, I guess. There's a lot of murder that happens, but... You know... Anyway, bring out the rest of the story can come after. Yeah, you're right. I mean, we're still here though. We're still standing around. Are we gonna solve anything, Mr. Or I say Mr. Detective? Actually, well, she's Miss Detective. Miss Detective. Kyoko, do you still have that one thing? Monokuma's secret tooth that you got from the headmaster's room? Of course I do. It's an absolutely vital part of ensnaring the mastermind. I would never part with it. And it can open any door in the school, right? It's very serious. It's very serious. You understand, Doge Talk, but it's very serious. You have to be very serious. Don't you understand? It can open in any door in the school, right? That's right. Then we should be able to use it on that door, right? I mean, I guess so. Let's do that. Let's put the key. Why is there a keyhole in the room? You know, that kind of makes no sense. Isn't it the other way around? Usually there's a keyhole outside the room rather than like in the room. Anyway. Hey Kyoko, we can use that key of yours to open this door, right? Let's find out. Kyoko took out the key with the Monokuma design on it and slid it into the keyhole. And then... yes, it opened. And now we can get out of here. Let's go. Sounds good. We quickly opened the door and made our escape from the garbage pit. No more garbage for us. Finally. We were finally free. But there wasn't even time to take a breath of relief, because the real fight had just begun. Chapter 6! Ultimate pain, ultimate suffering, ultimate despair, ultimate executions, ultimate death. Now I wonder how that's translated in Japanese, in the original translation. Is it like ultimate or is it super high school level, you know? Because obviously, you know, for the super high school level stuff in this game, they did translate to ultimate, but anyway. After leaving the garbage pit, we found ourselves in a tunnel extending straight up like a chimney. There was a metal ladder leading up into the tunnel. We started climbing the ladder, intent on reaching the surface. So edgy. Very edgy. There you go. Now there's fan service, okay? Now you can make the horny jokes, alright? It's like, timing is very important. Anyway, the ladder was impossibly long. I couldn't even see where it ended. We climbed into darkness. The passage was so dark and cramped, I couldn't even see my own feet beneath me. I had no idea we were so far down. Don't lose your footing. If you slip, I won't be able to catch you. Yeah, I'll be careful. Now, Snake Eater? Yep. What a thrill. But now that you said that, I'm getting kind of nervous. Maybe talking will help keep my mind off it. So Kyoko, there's something I want to ask you. Nice ass, Mac. You said you're the ultimate detective, right? So how long have you been doing detective work? How long? Ever since I can remember. I come from a long line of detectives. Detective work is in my blood. There was a time when being a detective was considered a sacred duty. My family's always seen it that way. Then, is your family famous? Quite the opposite, actually. Even among actual detectives, many people haven't heard of us. Huh? But how come? It's like your family tradition, right? Also, how would you get any jobs? Nobody heard it. How would you get paid? Anyway, because we take pride in it. Pride? A detective is neither light nor shadow. We represent neither justice nor evil. That is how we can uncover the absolute truth. We can stand neutral in all things, and to do that, we have to stand separate from the rest of society. That's not how it works in real life, anyway. Which is why we've made a conscious effort to conceal our existence, i.e. secret detectives. A conscious effort? It's kind of old-fashioned, and I can't say it's entirely rational. But it's our family creed, and we do what we must to protect it. You see, my real last name is Holmes, you know, Kyoko Holmes, you know? Because like I said, it's our source of pride. Pride. So that explains... Yes, that explains 2chan, by the way. This is 2chan. Before I came here, when I was looking up info about the school online, I never saw anything about her. Because she hid herself on purpose, to protect the pride of her family. And yet, I gave up some of that pride. Huh? In order to enter Hope's Peak, I had to reveal myself to the school. I didn't know it was something a true kitty-gitty detective would never do. But the reason you gave up that pride, the reason you would go so far to enter Hope's Peak, it was because that's how much you wanted to reconnect with your dad, right? There's no shame in that. Ah yes, daddy issues.
Eh?
Reconnect. I have absolutely no desire to reconnect with my father. Huh? But you'd be reuniting after all those years, right? You would have so much to talk about.
違うわ。
There's nothing I want to talk to my father about.
だけど、
There's something I want to say to him, though. What?
私は
No matter what it takes, I have to find him and tell him face to face. What is it?
それは
I want to sever all ties with him. Sever? Last time I saw him, I was still very young. So I don't remember myself, but apparently he was extremely intelligent. He was in line to become the next head of the Kirigiri family. He was talented, he had a promising future,
だけど
but he had no interest in detective work. So he cut himself off from the family. Not long after that, my mother died, and he simply ran away. Very sad. He went to my grandfather, and they had a huge argument, and young as I was, he left me behind. I'm sure there was a reason for that. You know, he just wanted to get some smokes, and he just never returned, right? I'm sure your dad wanted to take you with him.
そう
If that's true, then I need to thank him. Thank him for leaving me. Because unlike him, I take pride in the work I do. I take pride in my family name. So every last part of me is happy he didn't take me with him. If I'd gone with him, I never would have had the chance to become a detective. I was above Kyoko on the ladder, so I wasn't able to see her expression. I don't know, you could look down, you know? You can do that, right? There's some space. Anyway, so I couldn't tell. I couldn't see how she looked when she said that, what she might have been feeling. All I could tell was that compared to her usual self, she was more talkative and more emotional.
私は
I don't blame him, you know. He had his own life to live. That's what anyone in my position might say, right? But it's not true.
だけど
But there's one thing that I can never forgive. Really?
それは
The way everyone else looked at me. I was never sad about being left behind, like I said. I think it was a good thing.
でも
But when the rest of my family looked at me, they saw something different. They only saw me as the little girl that was abandoned by her father. That's how they see me even to this day.
私は
His shadow has been following me my entire life. I'm sick of it. I need him out of my life. I need to step out of his shadow.
そう
That's why I have to find him and tell him we're no longer family. In order to sell a pass. I mean, it makes sense, you know? I mean, obviously, she was very young. She never really knew her father. So, you know, it's totally reasonable, really. I imagine in Japan, though, in Japanese culture, though, especially, family is quite important, you know? So it is a bit of a shock, I imagine, to, you know, the typical Japanese player to like, oh, I hate my dad or whatever. You know, it's not seen as normal, I guess. In order to sell the pass, I ordered to remove him from my life forever. Though, what was that? Oh yeah, was there a meme about that? There was a meme about that. What was that guy? The bald guy? He's like, family's important, you know? Anyway, was it Vin Diesel or was it somebody? Anyway, it's just what reminded me of the family's important. I have no doubt he forgot about me years ago. But your family's important, you know? To just cut him out like that.
違うわ
But only connections through blood. Or rather, our only connections through blood, nothing more. Are we connected by heart and soul? No.
ね
Is blood really enough to call someone family? I mean, legally speaking. Sort of, but you know. Only connected by blood and not by heart or soul. Doshitako, I should do ASMR? I don't know. I don't think I actually don't want to do ASMR. Because ASMR is more like whispering and all that. I actually prefer, like, if I did have to do something, you know, voice related, I like narration actually, you know? I don't like ASMR. It's not really the content that I like at all. But anyway, I feel like people compare me my style anyway, my commentary style to ASMR only really because everyone else, you know, well not literally everyone else, but you know, a lot of people who stream or play video games and do commentary, they're just yelling every 5 seconds, you know, comparatively. They're way more high energy than me. I'm just like, you know, I'm just reading things normally. I don't know. This is just my default. Anyway. I was so shocked to hear her say something like that, I didn't know how to respond. So instead, I said nothing. ... There you go. She basically has daddy issues. Daddy issues. No, I just kept climbing the ladder in complete silence. And after I don't know how long, we finally reached the top. Nice sneakers, bro. Looks like this is it.
Hey.
On the other side of this door, Host Peak is waiting for us. We're back.
So,
Remember that hatch on the ground near the trash room? I'm fairly certain that's where we'll come out. I unlocked it earlier, so it should open without much trouble. Well, here goes nothing. I reached my right hand up and pushed against the hatch. The hatch opened with ease, and so... Makoto isn't gentleman, he didn't let Kyoko go first? Well, that's literally impossible. That's physically impossible. Anyway, looks like we're back. But I can't believe how long that ladder was. I'm exhausted. And there was like a lady that sang about eating snakes the whole time, by the way. No, I can't exactly say we're safe and sound, but at least we're out of there. Now we're back in Hope's Peak Academy. Kyoko, thank you. I never would have gotten out there without you. No thanks necessary. I was just returning the favor. There we go. Can I just randomly look at this thing, by the way? It's the trash room. But to be honest, I don't think I've seen anyone throw anything down there. Well, I mean, now we have, because we've been thrown down there, by the way. Let's just go back. Let's go back. Wait, let's go. Let's just dive right in, right? Let's just go all the way back there for no reason. No. So now what do we do? I'm glad I didn't die, of course, but if the Mastermind finds out... And I'm worried about you too. You helped me, so they might. You're worried. Yeah, of course. Then let's just get a concrete answer. Huh? Let's ask Monokuma if there's a problem with you escaping. But wait, that's... If we try to hide, it's only a matter of time till we're finally out. And it's not like we can run away. As she said that, she pointed at the nearby surveillance camera. So, you're saying rather than stressing out over getting caught, we should just give up now? Don't worry. What you think is going to happen isn't. Because the Mastermind is the one that's ensnared. The Mastermind is ensnared. You said something like that before. What does it mean? The Mastermind stood exposed during the investigation to Mukuro's death. There was a moment where the Mastermind let their guard down. There was? If we can talk to Monokuma, we can confirm it. And it'll be better for us if we go to him directly before he tracks us down. That should help with our negotiations. I'm still a little... super uneasy about this. But we don't really have a choice, do we? Monokuma should be in the gym. Let's get going. Okay. Whatever you say, ma'am. Alright, well, guys, we just leave, I guess. Where is the second... I guess it'll be the second floor. I was looking, apparently she mentioned, like, there's another part of the school that had, like, dorms and everything. I don't remember, actually, where that was. It was on the second floor, I guess. I mean, is it this one? Is it this one right here? There's a gate, though. Anyway, let's go to the gym. Where is the gym? I guess it's over here, right? I don't remember the layout of the school. I think it's all the way over here. And I wonder if we have any free time, you know? We go back to the store and do some rolls. Some gacha rolls and Danganronpa, no? Wasn't there, like, I believe Danganronpa did have a mobile game, actually, you know? They did have a gacha. I don't know much about it. I don't know if it was ever localized, but there was, like, you know, Danganronpa licensed, you know, mobile game. So you could, like, roll the gacha, I guess. Like, actually. Oh yeah! Kyoko, I don't mind so much. But Makoto is supposed to be dead. What's he doing here? That's exactly how I thought he'd react. Are we really gonna be okay? You were supposed to be punished. Did Kyoko help you? So what if I did? What will you do? If the guilty party is exposed during the class trial, they alone will be executed. It's unfortunate, but that is the rule. So now I gotta punish you again, and this time I won't leave anything to chance. Kyoko! Do whatever you feel you have to. Nah! But before you do, let me just say one thing. If you execute Makoto, that means you lose. Not that that matters to you, right? Lose? You! Explain yourself! What do you mean by that? Well, you set up this latest class trial yourself, right? I was getting in your way, so you wanted an excuse to kill me. I was supposed to be chosen as the Blackened and then executed, right? Hey, what are you talking about? But when Makoto chose to overlook my lie, your plan came crashing down. The results of the trial weren't at all what you were expecting. Because you never imagined that in that position, one person could protect another like that. And in response to that unexpected development, you reacted by proclaiming Makoto the Blackened and trying to execute him. You made the choice out of desperation. No, more than that. You must have realized that Makoto, who refused to be manipulated, was a threat to you as well. But then there was another unexpected development waiting for you. An entity that would throw a wrench, so to speak, in your precious execution machinery. Alter ego. You never imagined the possibility of a being that could come to our aid even after you killed it. As it turns out, alter ego, had a backup. Now here's the absolute truth. Makoto didn't kill Mukuro. You did. So executing Makoto would surely be a violation of your rules, which I know you love so much. If the Blackened is exposed, they alone will be executed. That's what you told us, right? That means I lose. You talk a big game. You're saying the Blackened is me and not Makoto. And you can prove this, right? No, I can't. Now don't just say it like that. What is this, a comedy routine? To make such bold claims without a shred of evidence. I don't have any right now. But with a little more time, I guarantee I'll find some. Because no matter how deeply you try to bury it, there's only ever one absolute truth. And now you're trying to talk like some kind of famous detective type. If Makoto really was the killer, he never would have come to you willingly like this. He would have feared for his life, feared another execution. He would have tried to run and hide. He would have been gripped by the despair you oh so love to inspire. But here we are, confronting you with nothing but hope in our hearts. And that's supposed to be enough to convince me in the absence of evidence. It's not you I'm trying to convince. If you were to execute Makoto now, everyone out there watching this would be extremely displeased. They would thumbs down the YouTube video and leave angry comments. You see, huh? Imagine what everyone out there would think if you killed Makoto. They would leave really bad reviews on Rotten Tomatoes or something. Or actually, Rotten Tomatoes, it's for movies. So like Metacritic, I guess? They would leave really bad reviews. They review bomb your game on Metacritic. So they would assume that you killed him because what we said is exactly right. Despair can never kill hope. Of course, you can say we're just making this all up. You're welcome to prove us wrong. No, you have no choice but to prove it. Because if you kill Makoto without proving your own innocence, you'll be accepting your own defeat. If you want to earn our despair, fair and square, then I suggest you take my advice. So, what is this advice of yours? To do Makoto's trial over again. Ah yes, time for a retrial. Only this time you follow the school regulations to ensure a fair trial. It's time. Saigo no shobu. Well, I guess you voiced it, but it's time for one last showdown. One final battle between hope and despair. Well, that would make for a proper climax, wouldn't you say? A fair trial. One last showdown. In other words, this would be our chance to expose the true identity of Mukuro's killer, of the Mastermind themselves. But what reason would the Mastermind have to accept the challenge? They'll probably just execute me without another word. Cool. That's a different laugh. Interesting. Kuma. Very interesting indeed. Very. Oh, I was getting bored, so I decided to change things up a little. So time for bear jokes. Now, what you suggested might be possible. It would certainly make one for one the honey of a climax. Does that mean you accept? If we do things your way, that'll be enough to convince you and the viewers, right? Gotta get that view count up. It will cause you unbearable despair, right? That I'm prepared to agree to your terms. Will your hope win out? Or will my despair claim victory? Come on, okay. Let's have one final grisly showdown. You know, I think probably in Japanese, he's just saying Kuma at the end of his sentences, really. That's all it is. Unless he's also making bear puns. Maybe he is, I don't know. Is this an innuendo? I told you, Mr. Doge Taco, not everything's an innuendo, alright? Not everything is a sex joke. Okay? Unless you know, the game again has like fan service, and maybe, but you know, anyway. He agreed. Then we still have a shot at this. But this is the long-awaited climax, right? Just guessing the killer is barely a fitting end. So for this final face-off, you'll have to unearth all the mysteries that have been buried here. All the mysteries? That's right. Every last mystery that's pawing around the school. If you can do that, then that'll be enough to qualify as a victory for you. Qualify. That's what we've been trying to do all along. Okay, well, good. Then let's bear it all. If you can claw your way to the truth of Mukuro's death and solve the mysteries of this school, then you win. But if you can't do all that, we'll all face execution, right? I can barely contain my excitement. When you learn the whole truth, what kind of despair will you show me? We're as excited as you are, I'm sure. When we've uncovered every last truth, how will you, the ultimate despair, reveal their own despair? I honestly can't believe how this all turned out. But before we get started, I want to clarify one more thing. Do you remember the rule? When one student kills another, that's when a class trial is held. I remember that, for sure. So what? I just want to confirm. That is what you said, right? And it's a true statement? So the bear has a fetish for seeing pain? Sorry, I mean, in a way, yes, actually. Monokuma really wants us to feel despair, you know? A little sadistic, I guess. You don't have to be so suspicious. I've said it before, but the bear is repeating. Everything is based on the school regulations, and having a trial for Mukuro is no exception to that. Huh? Mukuro's trial is no exception, then it is part of the regulations? Which would have to mean that whoever killed Mukuro... It's a very polarizing approach, I know, but okay, enough puns. Anyway, here's a hint. I'm sure I told you this already, but this killing game began with 16 participants, all of them high school students. And the only people to take a single step in Hope's Peak since the killing game began are those 16 students. What? Are you telling the truth? Why did you go quiet all of a sudden? Oop, boop, boop, boop. I'm done talking. Got nothing left to say to you. So get lost, would ya? Why so mad? Why so mad? That's a meme. Why so mad? Why are you so mad? It's just a video game. He seems emotionally unstable. Leave me alone. Get out of here. Okay, I'm going. You're really gonna let me go? I don't even care anymore. You're all gonna get your punishment later anyway. I need to start getting it ready. A super duper extra special punishment, overflowing of despair. It's just a game. Why you have to be so serious?
ね
Come on, Makoto, let's go. Okay.
えブーブーブーブーブー
You sure, Monokuma loves that laugh. Boop, 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 boop. Monokuma's unstable laughter seemed to cling to us as we walked away. And just like that, we were out of the gym. I could hardly believe it, but somehow I ended up not getting executed. I still had my life, and we still had a chance. Overall, things turned out way better than expected. Once again, I was in Kyokyo's debt. Alright, everything turned out fine for the most part, but we are gonna have to prepare for another trial though. Kyokyo, thank you. Everything I have right now is because of you.
だけど
Don't thank me just yet. The real battle is still ahead of us. Yeah, true. But still, I'm glad it worked out. I wasn't sure if the enemy would accept my proposal. But honestly, why would the Mastermind agree to that? I mean, they don't stand to gain anything from a final showdown, do they?
それは
They had no choice but to accept. Huh?
だって
It's all because of that one moment that the Mastermind let down their guard, like I said. So, when was it the Mastermind let their guard down?
それは
I wasn't there to hear it myself, but do you remember what the Mastermind said? They said they had hijacked the airways to broadcast our school life to the outside world, right? Yeah, they definitely said that.
ね
And what did you think when you heard that? Pretty hard to believe, right? Well, I mean, the idea of actually taking over the airwaves seems so unbelievable.
そうよ
You don't exactly read about something like that happening very often, so it's hard to imagine. In other words, that kind of thing is extremely difficult to pull off,
だけど
and yet somehow, the Mastermind was able to do it.
つまり
But think of it another way. There must have been some reason they had to do something that difficult. A reason?
それは
They had to show the world something, no matter the cost, us killing each other. They wanted to show the world.
どうやら
The Mastermind has been very adamant about not killing us directly, but forcing us to kill each other. And all their rules and regulations were designed to encourage that. Yeah, that makes sense. If those stupid regulations didn't exist, nobody would have killed anybody.
つまり
So the Mastermind's ultimate goal was to make us kill each other, and show that off to the world. But why?
そう
To prove a point, most likely. Prove a point?
ね
The outside world has a name for the students to host peak, right? A certain concept. You're talking about hope, right?
そうよ
And for those of us who represent hope, to kill each other and sink into despair. The Mastermind wants the world to see that, to try and prove that despair is better than hope. That's their goal, as the ultimate despair. There's a lot of despair going on around. We're saying despair a lot. Despair, 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 despair. Zetsubo in Japanese, by the way. What? They want to prove that despair is better than hope? But that's ridiculous.
そうね
You're right. It is ridiculous. Completely irrational. It's the kind of thing that nobody but those who call themselves the ultimate despair would devise. That group whose only purpose and motivation comes from despair. But is that really their only reason for making the rest of us suffer?
苗木くん
I know how angry it must make you. And yet, that same motivation is what led to the Mastermind revealing their weakness. What?
つまり
Because their goal is to broadcast this killing game to the world. The Mastermind has had to be more particular than is reasonable about their own regulations. If the Mastermind simply ignored their rules, this wouldn't have been a game, but a one-sided slaughter.
少なくとも
At least, that's how those who are watching this would have seen it. And that's why the Mastermind couldn't kill any of us themselves?
そうよ
That's precisely the reason. No matter how much they may hate what I'm doing, I haven't violated a single one of the regulations. Junko broke the rules, so she was punished. But in my case, they couldn't lay a finger on me.
そう
So instead, they tried to use the class trial, following all the proper rules to get me killed. They began a trial that didn't have a right answer, that made me out to be the killer. But even that didn't work.
そうね
Yes, thanks to you. And due to that failure, the Mastermind took yet another risk. They attempted to kill you instead, who also was not the killer. And when that fact was exposed on live TV to the entire outside world, the Mastermind had to accept your suggestion?
ええ
To prove to the world that despair is better than hope, they have to defeat us in perfect form.
つまり
It would only do to the Mastermind to harm to... It would only do the Mastermind harm to have it shown that they violate their own regulations. But all of that was a hunch, right? And you were still able to get the Mastermind to accept your challenge.
だけど
Well, it's only thanks to you that we got that chance. Because you believed in me. Another path opened up. Still, I can't believe how much of the Mastermind's thoughts and plans you were able to figure out. I didn't have the slightest clue.
違うわ
In the end, though, I couldn't prove any of it. It was just my reasoning. Essentially, I was making a bet. But it looks like I got it right. This time, at least, I won the bet. She let out a quick sigh. I took it as a small sign of relief. To be honest, I haven't been that nervous in a long time. I totally couldn't tell you were nervous at all. You seemed totally confident from the moment we decided to go talk to him. Well, presenting a strong demeanor is a fundamental part of negotiation and persuasion, wouldn't you say? Plus, if I had shown my uneasiness, that would have just made you that much more uneasy. Yeah, you're probably right. How pathetic.
だけど
Anyway, we can't relax just yet. All we've done is earn another chance to fight. We have to win this time,
そう
or everything we've gone through will have been for nothing. You're right. If we can't defeat the Mastermind, it'll cost us our lives. There's no other option except to win.
ね
Before we begin the final battle, we have to tell the others what's going on. True, but now we know who our real enemy is. All we have to do now is work together with everyone to destroy the Mastermind. Work together with everyone.
えでも
Is that really possible? Huh?
とにかく
Anyway, right now we have to go find the others.
行きましょうか
They're probably in the dorm somewhere. Shall we go? Can I talk to you again though?
とにかく
Okay, same thing. Alright. Hey, time to give everyone the good news. I'm alive, everybody. Aren't you happy that I lived? Over here. As it turns out, I rose from the grave. I'm actually a zombie. Who do I tell? Who's the closest one? I guess. Are you here, Brachia? This is Brachia's room. Is he inside?
ね
I don't think he's here. Come on, we need to keep looking. Okay, well, he's not here. I guess Toko? This is Toko's room. Is she inside?
えね
She's not here. She told us to go here to check, but there's nobody here. Asahina? Knock knock. Nope.
えね
Okay. Last one is crazy hair guy. Weed Man, you know? That he often has a nickname in the community. He's called Weed Man for some reason. I guess he just looks like a stoner because what else would he be, I guess?
えね
No? I'm really not a stoner. Well, sort of, right? Because, you know, he's a little he's a bit of a slob, I guess, especially with his hair. I don't know. But maybe it's because his hair also looks like a weed. Is that what it is? I try to talk to everybody. There's nobody here. Maybe the dining room? I mean, that's usually where everybody meets, right? It's nighttime, though, so I don't know if they would be here. No, nobody here. And suddenly we were greeted with... Oh. You again? Is he broken? I suppose his emotional instability reaches limit. Okay, jeez, what the heck?
でも
I wonder what that was all about. I couldn't help but let out a sigh of relief. Huh. Oh, there you go.
苗木だよね
There's everybody. Oh, my friends.
みんな
That all suspected me, by the way, multiple times, and almost got me killed, by the way.
やっぱり苗木だどの角度から見ても苗木だよ
This is, you know, all of you cooperated in attempted murder is all I'm saying.
ほら生きてたのね
まったくご キブリ並みのしぶとさだな。
Ah yes, Byakuya's being tsundere.
念のために聞いとくけど幽霊じゃねえよな。
And Hagakure is a dumbass. All is, all is normal in the world. Everyone was there, all my friends who had struggled together and survived. As soon as I saw their faces, I couldn't help myself. I started to tear up.
なんだ
Wait, what's that smell?
なんだこりゃ。
Yeah, man, that seriously stinks. It stinks worse than me. It's Makoto. He smells like a wet dog. Get away, shoo! Even though Fukawa doesn't shower, right? So she's even smellier than me, is all I'm saying. And in a flash, my tears dried up. As it turns out, everyone's a jackass. Everyone's a jerk. I guess I don't know who to talk to. Talk to Pyokyo first.
苗木君
There's no time to indulge in the extended happy reunion. We need to explain to everyone what happened to Monokuma.
なんだ
Explain. Explain what? But is it okay that you're here? What if the mastermind catches you?
そうね
That's related to what I have to tell you all. Oh, tell me, did he turn into a ghost?
でも
Does he look transparent to you? Nah, that's just a silly superstition. If ghosts were see-through, they could lead normal lives, you see. Okay, that's enough. Talking to you makes me want to just lay down and go to sleep from the migraine that I have. Okay, well, I didn't want to, interact with the pink thing yet, because I actually do want to see if everybody has dialogue before I continue. I still can't believe you survived. Yeah, me either. Do you realize why it is you escaped execution? It was alter ego. He saved my life.
そうだ
Not too many people can say they had their lives saved by a computer program. I don't know, in some ways. You could say that. I imagine it was a learning experience for you. Makoto, what was it like hanging out in the spirit world? I didn't go to the spirit world.
だべ
Did you get to talk to her? Who? Miss Cleo. No, I didn't talk to her. I mean, I didn't go to the spirit world. I mean, who the heck is Miss Cleo? Cleopatra? Or, So, what have you guys been doing while I was gone? Well, we figured that since the trial was over, we'd have access to new places again. And? No dice. All the rooms that were locked before were still locked. So there weren't any new areas. Then where can we go to find new clues? Ah, you stink. Are you rotten?
そうに決ま
Rotten physically, mentally, everywhere you can't be rotten. Sorry, I was rolling around in the garbage for a while. The smell is so smelly. Super smelly. You smell even worse than me. Way worse than me. I win. Okay. She seems happy for some reason. She won the smelly contest. Good. Let's see. Alright, so we continue, yeah. And then this. I need to tell you all about the last class trial. Last class trial?
つまり
We're going to redo Mukuro's trial. What? Seriously? What's the point of redoing it? Makoto killed her, right? I hate you. Anyway. No, I didn't do it, like I keep telling you.
違うわ
Makoto isn't the killer. And of course it's not me or any of you.
は
And then, who is it?
なるほどな
What she's saying is, it was all the work of the Mastermind. It's all about finding out about who really killed Mukuro. Yeah, I mean, yeah, if you're following so far. I mean, I don't know. It seems like, again, I don't know if you've been following the rest of my playthrough, but I am pretty close to the end at this point, I think. Chapter 6 is, I think, the last chapter in this game. We're still in the beginning of Chapter 6, though, so it's not the very end yet. I'm probably not going to be finished this game super soon, but, I'm pretty much at the final stretch. So if you missed the rest of the story, it might be, I mean, if you want anyway, it might be a good idea to look up the rest of my videos, I haven't uploaded because I went on hiatus and everything, so I haven't uploaded the rest of the videos since, I guess, Chapter 3, was it, I think? But, if you want to catch up, you can do that. Anyway, you're saying the Mastermind killed Mukuro?
そうよ
That's right. It was all an elaborate trap contrived by the Mastermind. Makoto spotted the trap in time and did what he had to stop it.
だけど
But his decision meant that he would be the one to... I can't read. But his decision meant that he would be the one to die.
なんだと
You spotted the trap, did you, Makoto? You make it sound like it was easy. I just, you know.
でも
But executing Makoto, who wasn't the Blacken, is a clear violation of the school regulations. The rules state that only the Blacken is to be executed. The Mastermind broke their own rules. Which is why I went and negotiated with them to have the trial one more time. And the Mastermind agreed? Does that mean they really did break the rules? They had no choice but to agree. You used the TV broadcast to gain the leverage you needed, didn't you?
そう
Very observant of you.
当然だ
I recall what you said at the end of the last trial. When you said, now it's the Mastermind that's ensnared, that's what you were referring to. Hey, I'm totally in the dark here. For anyone who doesn't understand, you can ask Kyoko to explain it again. Later. So, knowing all this, what do we do now?
それって
It's about who killed Mukuro, right? So our job is to expose the Mastermind? But there's more to it than that, correct? Yeah. For us to win this time, we have to solve every last mystery surrounding the school. Every last mystery?
でも
But we've been looking around all this time, and we still don't know anything, right?
とにかく
You probably guessed already, but if we lose this time, everyone dies. Everyone? If I do manga reads on my channel, that'd be awesome. Yeah, I thought about that. I don't know how. I don't know. I don't think. I mean, you know, reading visual novels is already pretty niche. Reading manga is even that's like a deeper niche. I feel like, you know. I don't know. And also, it'd be kind of hard as well because you had to like edit it. It wouldn't be just like page to page. You would need like zoom in, you know, and move everything. It would be a lot of editing if I were to do like a manga reading. I feel like, I don't know. Also, it would be kind of hard as well because you have to do a lot of voices, you know, if there's a lot of characters. Anyway, I've also thought about doing what do you call it, light novels, you know, as well, but it's a lot of work, you know. Anyway, I mean, not that I mean, I've done visual novels before, like literally entire visual novels, so, like Fate Stay Night, for example. So it's not like it's completely different, but I don't know. Anyway, hey, who said you could agree to those terms without talking to the rest of us? Ah, she's powering up. I'm fine with things the way they are. I'm fine with living here forever with Master. I meanwhile want to get out of here as soon as humanly possible.
とにかく
Anyway, at this point, the only way for us to survive is to unravel the truth. In other words, one decisive final battle. A rather interesting development, I'd say.
でも
But figuring out who the Mastermind is, and how they killed Mukuro, and all the school's mysteries. It's a pretty tall friggin' order. Maybe, but this time the trial is different, and we know who our enemy is now. So if we work together and search as hard as we can, I'm sure we'll solve all those mysteries. I'm not so sure about that. Huh?
私は
I can't agree with the idea of working together with everyone. Oh, I just want to see, would there be extra dialogue? No, okay. It's
と
just,
に
yeah.
かく
Can't agree with, yeah, she mentioned that before, you know, we said like, hey, let's all work together. With the power of friendship, we can do anything. And she's like, are you sure about that? Are you sure about that? You can't agree, why not? I mean, working together with everyone seems like the most obvious way to solve all the mysteries, right? You know, if everyone just worked together from the very beginning, we could have avoided killing each other, but anyway.
ええ
That's what I thought too, at first. Until Monokuma gave us that little hint of his. Hint? Yeah, but I guess the hint is the fact there were only 16 participants, all of them being high school students. So that kind of implies that if there are only 16 students, there's like at least one person here that's a mastermind? But how's that work? I don't know. Monokuma said that, didn't he? And Kyoko's opinion is perfectly reasonable. Huh? But why?
つまり
If the mastermind really is the one who killed Mukuro, as Kyoko says, then the mastermind would have had to set foot in the school, right? Monokuma could probably murder Mukuro, but there's no way he could have disguised a scene like that.
つまりだ
But according to Monokuma, the only people who have set foot in Hope's Peak are the 16 students who have been taking part in the killing game. The Mastermind is... There were 15 of us in the main hall at the very beginning. Add in Mukuro and you get 16. So the Mastermind would have to be one of them? And of those 16 people we started out with, the only ones still alive are the people standing right here. Need I continue, or do you get it now? You're saying the Mastermind is one of us? You can't be serious. Wait, we can't say for sure that's true yet. Monokuma might have just said that to confuse us. It's certainly a possibility, but only one among many. The Mastermind being one of us is also a possibility. Well, did we have this problem before? You know how like Sakura was like the spy and everything? This is exactly what Monokuma wants us to do. And that is one possibility we can't ignore. Yeah, I mean, they're an ultimate, right? The ultimate despair. So they must be a high schooler. See, this is the problem, right? This is where the translation is weird. In the original translation, you know, I mentioned like 5 million times, but in the original translation, it's not ultimate, it's super high school level. So, you know, this logic makes no sense. So they must be the high schooler. No. You know, ultimate is very generic, right? But specifically, in the original Japanese script and the fan translation, it's super high school level. Super high school level despair. So it would make sense that she would say this. So they must be a high schooler because, you know, it's a high school level, right? Anyway. Because you wonder now, because it could be like, you know, super university level, you know, super college level, you know, whatever. Super college level despair. You know, that's me when I was university, I guess. Super university level despair, yes. Anyway, I got a major in despair. You can't say it's not possible. But if one of us was a Mastermind, they have to be controlling Monokuma somehow, right? But did you ever see anyone acting suspicious anytime Monokuma was active? Maybe they snuck off and controlled him in secret. I don't care how sneaky you are, we would have noticed someone sneaking off that many times. Then maybe Monokuma was on autopilot. Maybe they loaded up all the dialogue and actions beforehand. You know, it's all scripted, pre-recorded. In that case, there's no way we could have all those back and forth conversations of us. Well, it wouldn't be entirely impossible if they directed the flow of conversation. Well, maybe, but still. Honai Hozo desu.
お前らすでにご承知かと思いますが、これからこの殺し合い学園生活は真の怪盗編へと突入します。
True ending mode. Man.
そこで公平を期すために学園内の部屋のロックはすべて解除しちゃいます。好きに調べてちょうだいな。思う存分謎を解いてちょうだいな。うぷぷ。では学級裁判でお会いしましょう。やははははは。あははは。
How very magnanimous of him to unlock all the rooms. Actually, I don't know how to say that. Magnanimous? The time for talk is done. Now we need to begin our investigation. But I was planning on working alone from the beginning anyway. At this point, I can rely only on myself, on the Togami blood flowing through my veins. I have no time to worry about the rest of you. Each of you must uphold your responsibility. I mean, you know, as usual, he's just doing whatever he wants. Well then. After making his final statement, Byakuya left the dining hall. Master! He didn't take me with him. Well, obviously, he doesn't like you. You're like a weird stalker. He's gonna get a restraining order when we get out of here. Do you blame him? Oh, without Master, the rest of you are like coffee with cream without the cream. Or coffee. You're totally useless. So bye. Oh, with that, Toko trudged out of the dining hall. Oh, now she's gone. And you're gonna go off by yourself, right, Kyoko? That's right. Which just leaves Makoto, Hina, and me. Oh, in that case, I'm gonna go by myself too. Wait, how come? Just wait and see. I'm gonna use my totally awesome spirit power to figure out the Mastermind's identity. Laughing loudly, Hiro left the dining hall to be a useless piece of poop. Everyone's really gonna go off by themselves. What about you, Hina? The fan service character of this video game? Well, to be fair, there's a lot of fan service, you know. Anyway, I guess I'll do the same thing. I mean, it's not that I don't trust everyone, you know? But up till now, I haven't really been all that useful. I just depended on Sakura and everyone else. You're not useless. If you hadn't been here, I would have died. Makoto. That's really nice of you to say. But still, I know I've mostly been totally useless. So I figure at least here in the end, maybe I can find something that'll help us all get out of here. So I'm gonna go off and do it all on my own. Okay, see you later. Hina was in surprisingly high spirits as she dashed out of the dining hall. I mean, she could cover a lot of ground, you know, she's very athletic. She can run around all everywhere. And once again, it's just us two. Indeed. Hi. So, you're gonna go off on your own too, right, Kyoko? Well, don't misunderstand. Just because we're going to do our searches separately doesn't mean we still can't work together. That goes for all of us. You see, it's called division of labor, you know? It's the basis of, like, factory work. Anyway. I think I see what you mean. Doing our own investigating doesn't mean we can't work together in the end. I should just see as a splitting up to cover more ground. And then we get back together and share what we found. Yeah, that's right. Well, I better get going. I have an endless list of things I need to check. Monokuma said all the doors in the school had been unlocked, right? So we should be able to investigate every nook and cranny in the school. We can visit all the places we couldn't go before. Makoto, no matter what it takes, we have to uncover the truth. By any means necessary. With that, Kyoko was gone, leaving only me. I don't have time to waste either. I have to begin my search. I still can't believe the Mastermind might be one of us. So that's what I have to prove. I'll prove that the Mastermind isn't one of us. I'll expose the Mastermind's true identity and solve the mystery of this school. And then, we can all escape together. And maybe bury the rest of the bodies, by the way, because we gotta do something about the bodies. Alright, so there you go. Investigation start. As the rock and roll guitar plays, this is it. This is the final climax, the final trial, the final investigation, where we can look everywhere in the school, and we're gonna solve the mystery of this entire game. Here's what we're gonna do.